There are massive concerns that the upcoming Max Harry Potter series that is supposed to take place over the next decade and a half will be woke, specifically based on a casting call for Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley. That casting call says that Warner Brothers Discovery will be embracing inclusive casting, meaning that it's likely they could be race swapping a number of those three characters. Would not be the first show to do that. We saw this with Percy Jackson. They race swapped two of the three main characters in that series for the Disney Plus show. And I would not be surprised if Max follows suit, despite their numerous statements that they want to remain authentic, that they want to preserve the integrity of the books, and they want to stay true to them. Nevertheless, before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Roll this up over at thatparkplace.com. And the casting call was posted to a website called Cast It Talent, and it reveals the production is looking for children who will be between the ages of 9 to 11 in April 2025 to play Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley. They must be residents of the United Kingdom or Ireland. There's also that casting call then provides instructions on how the applicants should apply with video submissions, et cetera, et cetera. However, at the end of the casting call is where many fans' fears are stemming from. It states, "We are committed to inclusive, diverse casting. For every role, please submit qualified performers without regard to ethnicity, sex, disability, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, or any other basis protected by law, unless otherwise specifically indicated." And you can see there it is. Here is the casting call. This was posted to the official Harry Potter website, the Wizarding World website, where it covered the casting call and did try to kind of blunt fears that the show will serve as a faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter book. So trying to blunt those fears that this show is going to go woke, that they're going to be changing the characters and how they are depicted, saying that it is going to be a faithful adaptation. We'll see if that is the case. J.K. Rowling is obviously not opposed to changing the race of her characters. We've seen that in the stage play where she race replaced Hermione Granger in that when as an adult. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, that is something that Gary Beekler, pop culture analyst and commentator who owns and hosts the Nerdrotic channel, brought up when he was discussing this. He's predicted that it will be Hermione who will be probably race replaced. He said this: "My guess is Hermione." Film Threat founder Chris Gore added, "She will be a prediction, light-skinned black girl." Beekler replied, "Yup, they already did it in the play. I know they did it in the play, but you are right, which would be so on the nose because of Hermione's character, and she'll be called a mudblood." When the casting for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was initially announced, fans were not happy about the change. Nevertheless, series creator J.K. Rowling defended the decision, telling The Guardian, "With my experience of social media, I thought that idiots were going to idiot, but what can you say? That's the way the world is. Noma was chosen because she was the best actress for the job. And John told me he'd cast her. I said, oh, that's fabulous," because I'd seen her in a workshop and she was fabulous. She can't be the best person for the job because she doesn't look like the character. That's just the way it is. This is probably one of the few things that I will say, hey, you need to cast people that look like the character. And that's what they should do. And I think there are exceptions to a lot of discrimination laws when it comes to Hollywood casting actors that look like the characters that they are supposed to play. We do have some details about the show. It is supposed to arrive on Max sometime in 2026. David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, revealed this back in February during one of the company's earnings calls. He says, "We can't wait to share a decade of new stories with fans around the world on Max. We're aiming for a debut in 2026. My guess is probably around the fall time. That seems to be when you get the big show releases rather than in the summer or in the spring. I just think that kind of makes more sense. And I feel like even if you follow that with how they usually release the movies, it was usually around Thanksgiving time, if memory serves me. I remember going to see them when I went to go visit my my pop-up up in the Poconos in Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving when I was a teenager. As for what to expect when the show was initially announced, Warner Brothers Discovery revealed this: the stories from each of Rowling's Harry Potter books will become a decade-long series produced with the same epic craft, love, and care this global franchise is known for. And I do think it is. It is known for that for the most part. Obviously, you have the stage play, but you look at what they've done at Universal, absolutely epic stuff there on the rides, a lot of craft and love. And then you look at the films as well. Obviously, you have to discount some of the Fantastic Beasts stuff. So I think the first one did pretty well, but you look at the more recent ones, not so much. Obviously, a lot of problems, especially with the casting. Interestingly enough, obviously, their canceling of Johnny Depp, and then they had Ezra Miller in there as well. So a lot of problems with that. And I think there was supposed to be 5 movies, and I think they ended at 3. They never actually got around to it, and they kind of like have killed that part of the franchise. Nevertheless, they also added each season will be authentic to the original books and bring Harry Potter and these incredible adventures to new audiences around the world, while the original classic and beloved films will remain at the core of the franchise and available to watch globally. So we've seen them say that they are going to be authentic. They are going to, what did we say? What did they say here in the Wizarding World Post? They said they were going to be faithful, serve as a faithful adaptation. And then we even get down here. This is what J.K. Rowling said when they initially released it. She says, Max's commitment to preserving the integrity of my books is important to me, and I'm looking forward to being part of this new adaptation, which will allow for a degree of depth and detail only afforded by a long-form television series. So we've seen them say that they're going to be faithful. They're going to preserve the integrity. They are going to... be authentic. That's what they say that they are going to do. And again, we've seen this before, right? We saw this with Percy Jackson. They said the same thing. And then what ended up happening, they replaced 2 of the main characters in that show. So as much as they say this, I think their actions will speak louder than their words. And obviously the first test will be the casting. Will they cast people that are actually authentic to the books? Will they preserve the integrity of the books? Time will tell. But the fact that they say that they are committed to inclusive, diverse casting is a massive, massive, massive red flag. So we will see what happens. I don't have high hopes for this. Again, this is Hollywood. They like to do all this stuff. Even in the Hogwarts Legacy game, they were pushing the transgender ideology with like a barkeep character and things like that, despite J.K. Rowling being absolutely opposed for the most part to that ideology and how it has kind of encroached on her feminist liberal beliefs. So we will see what happens. I don't really have high hopes. Again, we're dealing with Hollywood. J.K. Rowling, as much as she does oppose a lot of the transgender ideology, she does seemingly, or at least previously did, talk about how she accepted people thinking that they can become the opposite sex when they cannot. So, and again, this is Hollywood. How many times have we been burned over the past decade? Too many to count. And what has happened to those franchises where they've embraced all this idiocy, they are forgotten, and they've died. No one is really talking about them or even remembers those films and television shows anymore. And if they do, it's because they are the message that the Joker sends. They are the giant pile of money that he is burning up. And that is what they are known for. They are known for being sacrificed on the altar of wokeness. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.